All right, well, welcome friends to Chapter 5, Lesson 1. Go ahead and work through these problems. These are some review from when we were doing division of fractions. Work through these problems and check your answer when you're done. Okay, you should have gotten an answer. The answer is below here. If you got 3 or more incorrect, then I do need to see you. We need to do some review before you're going to be ready to move on to this lesson. So 3 or more incorrect, go ahead and input that answer now. Okay, today we're going to be talking about algebra. So this is your introduction into using equations, algebraic expressions, variables, all these sorts of things. We've done a little bit with them, but we're going to start looking more in depth into expressions and equations. So let me skip past all this. Now these are things that you're going to use from now until you graduate from high school and even beyond. So it's very important that you just get the basics down and get it really ingrained now. So we've got this problem in front of us. Evaluate 2n plus 3, this expression right there, and then they give you n equals -4. So what we have here is this algebraic expression. Okay, an algebraic expression is a combination of letters and numbers, and the letters serve as what we call variables. That means that letter could change. You could plug just about any number into that, but the other numbers around it stay the same. And then in this case, they gave you what the variable is, and then you need to solve from there. So what we're going to do is plug that -4 in for n. So see, n is here, and we swap that out with -4. Why? Because n equals -4. So we go ahead and do that. Notice I have an equal sign in the middle, which means that this now is equal to this, because this got plugged in there and there. Okay, so now we've got 2 parentheses -4 plus 3. Remember our order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So you do what's inside the parentheses first. In this case, -4 plus 3. You get an answer of -1. Okay, please, and then excuse. Remember, if you've got two numbers that are right next to each other like that, one is in parentheses, that means multiply. So you're going to multiply those two together and get an answer of -2. Okay, so what this says is that when you take this expression, when you take 2n plus 3, and when you plug -4 in for n, you get an answer of -2. Okay, so when n is -4, then the expression equals -2. And that's what it means when it says evaluate. It just wants you to work that expression out with the given variable. Okay, go ahead and work this on your own. Check your answer when you're done. Should have got an answer of 6. So 3, we're going to plug 6 in for t, minus 4. Again, we do what's inside the parentheses first, so that's 2, and then we multiply those two together, and we get an answer of 6. Okay, evaluate 8w minus 2v if w is 5 and v equals 3. So we go ahead and plug those numbers in that we know for the variables. So 5 is going to be for w, v is going to be 3. And then remember our order of operations. We multiply first. Please excuse my. So do your multiplication of each of these here. And then my dear Aunt Sally. So subtraction is last. So you subtract those two and you get an answer of 34. So all we've done different here is we just have two different variables. And we solve each of those variables first and then do the subtraction. Okay, you go ahead and do this one here and check your answer when you're done. Okay, if I plug in, here I'll give you your answer, it's 30. So if I plug in 4 for S, and if I plug in -2 for T, I do that, that's 24. I do this here, that's -6. Subtraction of a negative is the same as adding a positive. You get an answer of 30. Okay, evaluate 4y to the third power plus 2 if y is 3. Now, this is what we call an exponent. Hopefully you have some experience with exponents. What that means is 4y times y times y. Okay, so 3 tells you how many times you're going to multiply y together. So in this case, it's y times y times y. Y times itself 3 times. Okay, and we're told that y is 3. So we're going to go ahead and plug that in. 3 goes in for y over here. Now, please excuse. Excuse stands for exponents, which is these right here. So we want to do that first. So 3 to the third power is 27. In other words, 3 times 3 is 9. And then multiply 9 times 3, and that's 27. So now you have your exponent out of the way. Now you multiply 27 times 4. 27 times 4 is 8. 2, 8 is 108. And then you add 2 to that here, and you get an answer of 110. Okay, go ahead and do this one on your own here. Check your answer when you're done. Should have gotten 23. 3m is -3 to the second power minus 4. Now 3 to the second power is the same as -3 times -3. When you do -3 times -3, a negative times a negative is a positive, so then we get 3 times 9 minus 4. We do our multiplication. 27 minus 4, and that equals 23. One thing that's really nice about algebra is that you follow the same order of operations again and again and again and again, and as long as you follow the steps in the right order, it should lead you to the right answer. Okay, now let's take a look at this word problem. It says athletic trainers use the formula 3 times 220 minus a divided by 5, where a, the variable a, is a person's age, so that could change depending on who you have in front of you, and they put their age in order to find the minimum training heart rate. So we're told that this person's age is 15, okay? So what's our equation? Here's from the problem, we pulled that out here, but now we're going to take 15 and plug it in for a. All right. Now, remember, please excuse. So anything that's inside parentheses we do first. So 220 minus 15. Now notice, this is subtraction. Right? So usually that would happen last, but because it's in the parentheses, that means we do it first. Anything that's in parentheses gets done first. So we subtract that. 220 minus 15 is 205. Then we're going to do our multiplication. 3 times 205 is 615. And then our division. 615 divided by 5 is 123. So Latrine's minimum training heart rate is 123 beats per minute. Okay, go ahead and use the same principles here in this example. Should have gotten the answer of 25 degrees Celsius. 5F is going to be 77 minus 32 over 9 degrees. So I want to do what's in the parentheses first. 77 minus 32 is 45 over 9. 5 times 45, do some quick math here. 20, that's 5, 2, 22, 225, 225 over 9. And then, so then I divide that, 225 divided by 9. That's going to be 2, 5. And that's my answer, 25 degrees Celsius. Marissa wants to buy a DVD player that cost $150. She already saved $25 and plans to save an additional $10 each week. Write an expression. So you're writing an algebraic expression that represents the total amount of money Marissa has saved after any number of weeks. Now, something to be careful here with this word problem. You're given an extra number that you don't currently need. Okay, what they want to know is the total amount of money Marissa has saved after any number of weeks. This number right here doesn't actually matter at this point. It doesn't matter how much it costs. We're just going to write an expression that has to do with how much money she has saved given 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, any number of weeks, okay? So we're going to take the word savings of $25. She starts with that much, plus $10 each week. So she's going to add to it an additional add $10 each week. Okay, so we're going to let W represent the number of weeks, and here's our expression. So 25 is what she starts with. We're going to add $10 every week, okay? $10 a week. So our expression will look like this. 25, that's what she starts with, plus 10W. So $10 any given number of weeks. So I can plug in 1 week, I can plug in 5 weeks there, and figure out how much money she has saved after that number of weeks. Okay, go ahead and work this through on your own. Okay, you should have gotten an answer of 20 plus 5D. So again, she has already read 20 pages. She's going to add an additional 5 pages per day. All right, now back to example 5. We're going to ask the question now, will Marissa have saved enough money to buy the $150 DVD player in 11 weeks? Okay, so we have our expression from number 5, and we're going to plug in the number 11 for that many weeks, okay? So you use 11 for W. You work that problem through, you multiply 10 times 11, you do your multiplication, get 110, add 110 to 25, and you get an answer of 135. Now, how much does it cost? It costs 150. 135 is not quite there, so she will not have enough money to buy that DVD player. Okay, now you go ahead and do the same type of problem here with the other example of the books. Okay, the answer again is no, she will have only read 55 pages. Okay, so we introduced us to algebraic expressions today, using variables and using different numbers to plug in for those variables, and then that order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction.